Guys, hi guys, welcome. In this very first video of Python in Power BI. So in this video, we will look at how we can load the data set, especially using Python. And this is very interesting because very few people uh, who are proficient in Python use Power BI, but most of the corporates, they like to have a dashboard kind of visuals. So we need to know how we can use Python and Power BI. So without further ado, let's get started. So using this get data, we will start and we'll click on get data move to list out all the connectors. Here we will type Python and click on Python script. I'm using a Seaborn library to extract the data set, which is already existing. We can also use sklearn or some other kind of API methods, but just to show you how we can use the Python script, I'm using Seaborn. So you can install Seaborn using pip install in your as a package in Python, and then we can use sns.load dataset functionality to load a specific dataset in SNS. So currently, I know the Titanic is available. Hence, I'm typing the name Titanic. And I'll press OK after this. It's establishing a connection. Actually, we could have written down data as a method. So we'll start once more. We have not given the table name, so it's not able to identify the data set. Bear with me as I'm not so good in Power BI, but I'm trying to connect the two using whatever I know. Seaborn as SNS. This library has to be in your script in Python. And once it is there, we can extract the data set inside SNS. SNS.load underscore data set. The name of the data set is Titanic. We will load this as the name data. You can choose any other name also here. I can have just given the name data here and click on OK. Hopefully this time it should be available in as a table. Yep. So once we click on this data, we can see the data that is coming to the connector of Python script. And the Titanic data set, very famous one. We can load it, or we can go to transform data. We will further cleanse the data if there is a requirement, but I'll load just as this video is pertaining to only loading the data set. So once the loading data is completed, we can see that a table will be formed, and this table can be used to draw charts. So you can see how easy Power BI is when it comes to making charts as compared to making it in Python. So we can use sex as one of the categories, and then age as the values. We get the sum of values based on male and female. Change from sum to average. You can see in Titanic, male had an average of 30.73, whereas female age was around 27.9. We have even more male age, guys. Yeah, and then similarly, you can shift the charts or to maybe some other visuals like donut chart. And this time we can use, we'll have to see which one is the categories. So because this is a pie chart, so we can use the, I don't want to use X again. Let me see what's in the class. We can take again the age, but this time we'll do the count. So we can see how many passengers were there in each of the categories: third class, first class, and second class. I think age is on the sum, so we change it to count. So yeah, you'll see the number of passengers here who are there in the first class, which is 186. Then second class was 173, and the third class was 355, which is the majority, 50%. So that's how we load the data set, and we can form nice looking visuals which are appealing to our bosses in corporate. And yeah, if you really like this video, then yeah, please subscribe to this channel, and we can make further videos on how to integrate Python in Power BI. Thank you.